Okay, so now let's look at the preprocess. Okay, um, let's start with setting up where maxie is. So in my terminal, I'm going to show you where this thing is. So currently my maxie folder sits underneath my home/codes. See through LS. You can see that I have a preprocess right here. Okay, so let's set this up. Let's say export and maxi equals pwd. So pwd is a built-in environment variable that stands for the current working directory, which right now is the maxi. And you can also echo maxi because we just defined it. All right. So let's change. Oh, actually, we don't need to change the directory yet. We need to set up another environment variable, which is maxi underscore preproc. Okay, so let's do that. It's always good to double check. Okay, so it looks like the directory is set up correctly. So that's good. All right, so let's move on to where we are gonna run this thing. So in order to do that, we need to set up different directory. So I decided to run it in a demo directory here. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste this entire thing to here. And if you do it, yeah, should show you exactly the same value as here. All right, so next step is to copy and paste things that we just set up. Let's just run them. And it looks like the copy pasting has been done. Yeah. So next is to launch a job. Okay, so let's go to the actual demos directory. Just double check if we have everything ready. Okay, so it looks like files are copy pasted correctly. And now let's try to launch a job. So I included a command line. I included a command here, but it's quite long, and let me explain what's going on here. So we have a environmental variable set up for OMP. Yeah, so this is some setup for the OpenMP library. I actually don't know the exact detail how this number is going to affect the performance. So I'm going to just set up as one here. Yeah, so let's move on. Python is just the Python interpreter, and launch job.py is the launch job.py right here. That's the one we just copy pasted, and whatever options coming afterwards, there's something that you can customize. So, for example, the QoS stands for some queue policies. Currently, we just use a batch queue. It should work on Summit. And how many CPUs we requested? I think 15 is kind of good enough. And we're gonna use 10 out of 15 for the actual computing. And then we set up a few more things here. One is the experiment, and then how many number of runs. What is the detector name? And yeah, you need to define a job name. So usually I just put experiment name there. And then you want to set up a name for the B subscript. So that's how I set it up. And again, I'm using a experiment name. Okay, so This is just to demonstrate, one run, but you might wonder where do we get those values? So if we hop back to the metadata table, and let me refresh this table again. Okay. So as you can see, if we look at the experiment MFXP 100, 222, 1, so it's this particular experiment. So the value of EXP is retrieved from here. And the next one is how many runs are included. So you retrieve the value here. So 69 in this case. Likewise, detector name is also retrieved from this metadata table. So it's called rayonics in this case. So just put rayonics there. And so on and so forth. So for me, I just use the experiment name to name the job and the B subscript. All right, so if you run this, I believe in the current setting, it would generate some script, but then also submit to the job right away. Okay, so let's ls this directory and see what's going on here. All right, so it looks like we got two new things. One is called outputs, the other one is called B sub jobs. So if you check out B sub jobs, you will realize there's a generated B subscript. So if we open that, this is exactly the script we just submitted. Actually, the program just submitted here. And if you look at the end of the line, it tells you what command it was used to generate this script. So if you forget how to use the command line related to the launch job.py, you can always open one of the B subscript and to learn how you customize it. Okay, so in the meantime, if we check out the outputs, it looks like we start to have some YAML file being generated. So let's just check that out. So in this YAML script, it tells you some basic information about what kind of detector, what kind of events, which experiment it is, and how many runs are there. Actually, this is how many events are there, and then the run number. Okay, so the reason to actually test whether each event exists is because sometimes the event can be a none, and also sometimes the entire run doesn't have any data. So you sort of have to check whether the run actually has data. And if not, the launch script or the pre-processing script will just skip it for you. Yeah, so you can check the output. After a while, you'll see you start to generate more YAML files. Okay, so for now, just keep them running, and you can check out the status of the running jobs right here. So that's the one that's currently being is underway. So yeah, so that's all about the pre-processing.